Lender licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
PM Show, Weekend Edition, CRN Digital Talk Radio, the star of our show, the incredible defensive football star, NFL legend, and superstar in Hollywood, Mr. Fred Dryer.
Thank you so much. Welcome back, folks. We're talking about Colin Powell and his Sunday appearance on the David Gregory show, and we're having lots of fun with it. We're cutting it up and we're presenting it to you so you can really take a listen as to the heartbreaking position that this man Colin Powell takes, and telling you, lying to you.
You know, for him to go and say that the Republicans did not want minorities to vote is total, unbelievable
it's
BS.
Irresponsible.
It's irresponsible. They didn't want, if you should be legal. That was what they were saying. Whether you're an immigrant to this country, as long as you're here illegally, you should be able to vote. If you're not, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. I'm sorry. Everybody had to fight to get in this country at some point as an immigrant into this country, and it's like unfair, since we all talk about being fair, we should all be fair, to allow someone to come in here, get a job. No, we can't deport them because their families are here. They're sucking in all the economic goods of this country here illegally, and I'm sorry. Go back, cross the border, get in line, fill out the applications, and come into this country legally. Then I support you 100%. But boy, I sound like a ragged old guy when I say things like that, because
you're extremist. You're an extremist.
Yeah,
Colin Powell will call you an extremist.
And all I'm doing is saying enforce the damn law. And Colin Powell, I'm sorry if he's a colonel. He's an idiot if he can't go ahead and figure out that the law is being broken here.
This is
and
purposeful.
He's supporting that.
He's a very bright guy, and again, he's a general for all the right reasons. However, he's taking this position and he is stuffing it right up your rear end, just exactly what the Democratic Party did with health care the last 4 years. And he's a left of center liberal, as is the GOP. And what you're getting here now is a turbocharged presentation and a smokescreen that Colin Powell is now telling American people what the Democratic Party, what the Republican Party has to do in order to be competitive, and that is turn everything over to the courts and to race and minorities, and all of these elements are devoid of what? The conversation. Here's a guy who's supposed to be a conservative. He hasn't mentioned one thing about the Constitution. He hasn't mentioned one thing about what we need to do as conservatives to get the voice back to the American people, regardless of what color, race, or creed they are. This guy's playing race. He's playing politics, and he's playing everything with the courts.
The Democrats win because they give things away to special interests, to any interest. They give it away for votes. And I liken this to the days of rock and roll radio. You had two competing stations in the market. They used to have contests. Who could give away more? $1,000 a day, a brand new car, and then the other station would give away something else. So all Colin Powell is saying is, hey, Republicans, start giving things away. And unfortunately, the American people are so stupid, all they believe is they should be getting stuff instead of working for it. What's with the American ethic of working for things? People get upset with minorities who come in and take over 7-Eleven stores. They make fun of particular races of people that come in and do that. These people come to this country legally, wanting to work hard to make some money, and they own 7-Elevens. Pretty soon they own about 10 of them, and then the Americans are scratching their head like, well, how did they get that? Because they worked hard, and they worked. And this is what's wrong with the country. Nobody's willing to work for anything. They want it all given to them.
Well, speaking of minorities, listen to this.
There's also a dark vein of intolerance in some parts of the party. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is they still sort of look down on minorities. How can I evidence that? When I see a former governor say that the president is shucking and jiving.
How about
That's
that?
A racial era slave term. When I see another former governor
I'm getting nauseous.
after the president's first debate where he didn't do very well, says that the president was lazy. He didn't say he was slow, he was tired, he didn't do well.
Oh, lazy.
He said he
is that
was
a
lazy.
racist word?
Plantation
that may not
lazy.
mean anything to most Americans.
Oh, my God.
But to those of us who are African Americans, the second word is shiftless, and then there's a third word that goes along with it.
I can't stand this guy.
The whole birther
Now he's
movement.
defining himself as black.
Why do senior Republican leaders tolerate this kind of discussion?
Why are we
in the party?
tolerating you?
Oh my God, I would have gone crazy. No wonder you came in here fired up.
Play it again.
Play it
Tom. Just
again.
play
This
it
is
again.
great. This is great.
There's also a dark vein of intolerance in some parts of the party. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is they still sort of look down on minorities. How can I evidence that? When I see a former governor say that the president is shucking and jiving, that's a racial era slave term. When I see another former governor after the president's first debate where he didn't do very well, says that the president was lazy. He didn't say he was slow, he was tired, he didn't do well.
You're hearing
lazy.
racism at its
now, it may
best,
not mean
folks.
anything to most Americans, but to those of us who are African Americans, the second word is shiftless, and then there's a third word that goes along with it. Birther, the whole birther movement. Why do senior Republican leaders tolerate this kind of discussion within the party?
You ought to be absolutely ashamed of yourself. And this guy, David Gregory, if he was a man, and he's not, if he was a man, he'd simply say, just a second, back up a minute, General, and explain this. What are you talking? You could make an entire show out of that one comment. One show out of that entire comment.
I'm sorry. We work with the great Tomas. Been in radio as long as I have. Tomas, seriously, you as an African-American man, and you've been here as long as anybody, is lazy a racist term in your mind if someone's lazy? When did that become a racist term?
Lazy is not a racist term to me. It's
Shucking and jiving? It's shucking and jiving? I mean, is that a racist term?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's used with particular cultures, but doesn't mean that it's a racist kind of term. I mean, I could say somebody's shucking and jiving, and it could be Czech or Italian.
Exactly. I'm with you.
Well,
I don't know. I
you.
think he's off base here on this. I don't know. That was great TV, though. I couldn't believe what I just heard.
Yeah, I know. We got one more segment.
Take it out,
and one
Fred.
more soundbite. I'm going to tell you, folks. It builds to a blackout you're not going to believe. We'll be right back.